Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a heroic super guide for Magic Mirror from the first wing of One Night in Karazhan. We're going to look at how to beat this boss in heroic mode with every single class and even a deck of basic and common cards only. Now at the time, I tried to beat him with a priest deck that healed a lot and actually tried to keep killing all his minions, and that was a pain. But when I came back to this adventure in more recent times, I realized a really good strategy is to be giving him lots of minions that have major deficiencies. And the most common one I relied on is that they cannot attack. He doesn't have a way to silence. Usually he'll destroy your minions when you play them with spells, rather than actually marching his board in. So if you do a good job, you can leave him with a board full of little 1/1 copies and things, and copies from Mirror Entity that don't attack. And maybe he just has, one creature left which is dealing 1 damage to you each turn, which you can easily heal out of range. There'll be a bit of healing. And just fatigue him. So that's the basic plan. Now it takes a bit of trickery sometimes because he does tend to flood the board very quickly with a lot of cheap minions that will be very painful to you, like mana worms, sorcerer's apprentices, which make his spells cost cheaper, spell damage things, which will make his spells do tons of damage to you. So you're kind of in a race to fill up his board with your crappy things that you want to be there and not his things. So you'll have a bit of removal where usually your goal, once his board is full, there'll be a couple things that are more threatening than you like. You remove it, play a minion to get the 1/1 copy that you don't like and sort of replace that spot. And the other thing to try do is 2 of his 5 spells are mirror entities. You can try get additional copies essentially of minions that can't attack by trying to play your minions into that. That said, let's look at the specific decks I used for the specific classes. First up is Druid. And we see that the basic idea is here with your Ancient Watchers, your Eerie Statues. It'll basically never be the only minion on the battlefield. So those will be big chunks that he cannot attack with. And in later decks, I put more and more of these tools in. We have a bit of removal for the reason we just said, in the form of Living Roots and Naturalize, so to get rid of minions that are causing us problem before we replace them with the things that can't attack. Faceless Manipulators to copy something that can't attack, and he gets yet another copy of it, so that works well into that. Justicard True Heart just to be able to armor up twice each turn. Reno and Tree of Life to be able to heal you up to full. He will lose the fatigue battle. He has cards that draw a lot. You're also going to help that out with things like Cold Light Oracles, which you can brand. Humongous Razor Leafs, I forgot to mention, are another minion in there that can't attack. Healing Touches give you even more ability to heal. And Jade Idols, just if you won't be losing in fatigue, but this gives you infinite survivability. You don't even want to spawn the minions. It doesn't really matter. You just keep shuffling them back into your deck, so you don't take any fatigue damage while he starts fatiguing a lot. With Hunter, we're again going with the core of Ancient Watchers and Humongous Razor Leafs and Eerie Statues. Later I realized there's some others I should add in as well. Hunter's Mark is great to go with things like Arcane Shot to be able to clear out any minions that are scary that you don't want out there before you replace them. Your Hero Power is not what you're looking for, so we have a Sir Finley to give you ability to hopefully get a Warrior or Priest Hero Power to be able to heal back up, because you will still take a lot of damage early. Argent Watchman is another one I realized I can put in there because his hero power is passive, so he's not using the hero power, so this is another tool that won't be able to attack. Flare can be good for dealing with the secrets once, you do want to try get the mirror entities to copy things that can't attack, but after that, when there's the duplicates and counter spells, you want to just get rid of them with Flares and Eater of Secrets. Karazhan Mystics as well, and a bunch of heal in the form of refreshment vendors, heal bots, and potentially Alexstrasza, though if you are safe, you can just set him to 15 so the fatigue damage kills him quicker. Similar thing in Mage, we have things like Arcane Blast instead of Arcane Shots. Zombie Chows are nice because when he duplicates them, you get 5 heal. If you get a mirror entity off on it, you get 10 heal, which very much is welcome to help you not die. So we obviously have the can't attack package again, although Ancient Watcher, Argent Watchman, Humongous Razorleaf, and Eerie Statue. We have secret stealing things, and one Karazhan Mystic, double Eater of Secrets, double heal bots for heal. We also have secrets of our own. Arcanologist pulling things, and Mad Scientist into the ice barriers, because we just want ways to heal for a bunch of life, essentially. And the thing about Mad Scientist is he copies it, which actually benefits you because he's more likely to get mirror entities out to double copy, essentially, minions you put out that can't attack. Paladin has amazing heal in the form of forbidden healings. You can essentially, if you get low on life but stabilize, heal back up for 20. So even if he has a board that's doing a few damage to you per turn, that gives you massive survivability. Light's Justice is nice to be able to remove 1/1 copies of things that you don't want him to have on the board, like spell damage and Sorcerer's Apprentice. You have things to help you heal, like Mistress of Mixture, Zombie Chow, Sir Finley Murgleton again to try get you a hero power. You don't actually be wanting to put out the 1/1s, because after he's used his removal, he might march things which are out there into your own minion. We have the package again of Ancient Watcher, Argent Watchman, Eerie Statue, and Humongous Razorleaf. I also experimented in this one with Fel Reaver. The idea being he copies your Fel Reaver, and then as you play card, you're just burning tons of his deck. But it's tricky. I think I stopped using it in future ones because the problem is you have a Fel Reaver of your own out, which he's going to then take advantage of to burn a bunch of your cards. Similar tools to what we've seen. Muster for Battle, good. Again, just helpful tools to get rid of the 1/1s on his side that you don't want to keep out there. Statue stealing stuff again. Aragnor's Lightlord for heal, just more healing turns, and Uthra of the Ebon Blade, a nice 30 damage swing essentially once you do get to the late game, and also your hero power can essentially just close out the game. The Priest deck I used at the time, I did not think of the strategy of cards that can't attack, and there were fewer of them. It was all about tons and tons of healing and tons of board clears. So the Shadow Word Horrors are absolute key, and getting maximum value out of them to destroy a full board. Excavated Evils are key to deal with his board as well. Entombs are important when he occasionally puts out bigger threats that you don't have great answers for. And then we have more AoE in the form of Holy Nova, Loatheb to try slow him down if he does have a bunch of things which make spells cheaper. Doomsayer, very nice clear. Obviously he will copy it and clear his own board for you. Don't even need a mirror entity. The Zombie Chow is again key to help you heal for 10 essentially if he has a mirror entity out. Then we have some Cthulhu buffing tools, the Disciples of Cthulhu. And that's trying to get Cthulhu up to 10 attacks so that we get the double to an Emperor Vekler. We get the Twilight Darkmenders healing us for a lot. We also have Corrupted Heal bots. Again, heal summon a 1/1 copy, which will heal you for 8, and you don't really care about healing him at this point. Eater of Secrets makes it again for stealing some of his secrets. Justicar Trueheart help you heal for 4 each turn. So lots and lots and lots of healing, lots of board clears, and you're hoping to survive. It's possible. I did beat it once while I wasn't recording, then took a lot of attempts to repeat the feat while I was recording. But I do think the other strategy with the minions that can't attack is a much more effective route to just fill up his board with junk, essentially. Because it's even with tons of AoE, it's hard to actually just run him out of resources because of his hero power just summoning so much stuff that can hurt you. But this is what I used at the time to beat him. While making the Rogue deck, I discovered another card I could put in, which is Silithid Swarmer. Nice thing about this is once it's out on your side, you actually can attack with it even, because you do have a hero power which will let you attack always. But yeah, so now we have Ancient Watcher, Humongous Razorleaf, Silithid Swarmer, Eerie Statue, huge set of cards to be able to flood him with minions that can't attack. We did put in the Fel Reavers again, Valeria the Hollow, just buys you time and lets you potentially double up on some of these minions you want to give him if you still need to get more stuff into his board. The Cold Light Oracles help draw and speed things up. Envenom Weapon just makes your hero power be able to kill 2 things if you do want to replace them with things that can't attack. Shadow Strike will kill almost anything threatening out there that does come along. You have the Secret Stealing stuff again, and Lotheb, the healing, the things that will help you heal in the form of Mistress and Mixtures and Zombie Chow. Similar formula to what we've already seen. Shaman uses the same package of Ancient Watcher, Argent Watchman, Humongous Razorleaf, Silithid Swarmer, and Eerie Statue. A third of your deck is minions that can't attack to fill up his side of the board. You have big heals in the form of Healing Wave that nowadays you'd probably replace with Healing Rain. I tried Mind Breakers, turns out they didn't work, so this is not effective, but I won, I won on the first attempt anyway with that card, so it stayed in there. You have heals, again, in the form of Healbot, Zombie Chow, Mistress of Mixtures, the copies helping you, Lightning Bolt and Stormcrack, and Stormforged Axe helping you targeted remove things before you play out your minions that can't attack to essentially replace them on his side of the board. Warlock gives you a fun tool to be able to aid the process of putting things on his side of the board in the form of treacheries. So one trick you're also trying here, it's a bit niche and hard to pull off, is getting out Unlicensed Apothecary, which he'll summon a 1/1 copy of, using Treachery on it. So now he has 2 things out, and every time he summons a copy of something you have, it'll deal 10 damage to him. So that's pretty nice, but hard to pull off. That said, you can just use the Treachery on another minion that can't attack. If he Mirror Entity summons a 1/1 copy and you Treachery it, you just took up 3 spots on his side of the board that will not be able to attack out of the package of 5 that we've kept putting in. So finally, again, you don't want your hero power to keep taking damage, and you want to replace it with something that heals or gives you armor, Mistress of Mixtures to help you heal, as other Zombie Chows. Similar formulas to what we've seen, other than the Unlicensed Apothecary Treachery attempt. Warrior follows pretty much the same themes. It does include N'Zoth's First Mate, a couple copies with patches to just help you be able to clean up that early board before it grows too crazy. Bring It On is nice. That you really want to save till the end, but towards the end, once his board's mostly full, it's just 10 armor. He's already at the point where he won't be able to play minions out because you've flooded his board. Cruel Taskmaster helps you clear out those early minions too, as does Fiery War Axe. And you're really banking on the Justicar Trueheart. Once you get this out, it can help you stabilize. You're gaining 4 armor a turn, just get way out of reach once his board's not doing that much damage to you. You can now basically, even if you only get 3 minions out that can't attack, if he has 1/1s that are hitting you, you can neutralize that with the hero power, eventually Bring It On, and just rely on him losing to fatigue. Once we got to the deck of basic and common cards only, we had to tweak our strategy a bit because basically all those minions that can't attack are rare and not common and basic cards. So we couldn't quite plan on flooding his board with things that can't attack, but what we do want to flood his board with is just 1/1s that don't have special powers, essentially. 1/1s that, aren't Sorcerer's Apprentices or spell damage buffers. So he's essentially doing 7 damage to you per turn. Then eventually you get Power Word Glories on them. The AI is not smart enough to not attack with the minions with Power Word Glory, so he's going to be healing you for 8 every turn as he tries to attack you for 7. So you basically will not take damage for the rest of the game. Do need to be careful with playing minions. Generally, he will remove them with spells if he can, but it gives him an opportunity, since these minions can attack, to run his minions in and then play out stuff you don't want. So once you've got his board to a manageable state, you pretty much want to stop actually playing minions out. Just rely on him eventually fatiguing himself, not being able to do damage to you, and getting the win. We even put in very cheap 0 mana cards because we want to basically, as soon as turn 1 and 2 hits, be playing tons of minions to get out, to be filling his board with those more innocuous 1/1s before he can get out the Sorcerer's Apprentices, the Mana Worms, the spell power buffs that will do more damage to you. Firefly gives you more heat, more ammunition for that as well, and you have some healing tools in the form of Binding Heal and Flash Heal to get even further in that direction. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how we beat Magic Mirror in Heroic mode with every single class, even a deck of basic and common cards only. Good luck out there if you're trying it and trying to win the rematch. See you next time.